over. I kill my fill 3 times a day. These ethanol fuels won't make me sober. One flame to take the pain away. I caught you lighting matches in the back room. Haters look mad when they pass you. Let's talk about round when it's past 2. Reach a glass to know you don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone. Don't be so personal. Everyone's seen death in their dreams, but we still wake up and go to sleep. Everyone's seen death in their dreams, but we still wake up from our sleep. I'll be home soon. You don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone. You don't gotta fight alone. Don't be so personal.
Guys, with another stamina DK build video. This is going to be for the GREYMOOR patch. I've been working on it. I'm also working on some mag DK setups as well. So after this setup, this is going to be my release for everybody. After this setup, I'm going to be working on the members only stamina DK build video. But before that, I'll be working on the Magicka DK build video for the open public. And then I'll work my way out from there. So this build is very cheesy. I love it. I call it the Black Widow. That's pretty much what it is. It's a Black Widow setup. It is gnarly. When you get hit by it, if you can't get away from it, the dots will destroy you. So the only thing that I really say you're gonna have a problem out of is, again, anything that purifies. Even still, things that purify, I haven't been having too many problems. And the reason why that is because the way this build is set up is that dots proc dots proc dots proc dots. It's really stupid. So I mean, I'm procking a total of, let me see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's upwards of between 8 to 10, maybe even 12 dots, somewhere around there. It's a lot of dots because you're also applying status effects and all these different things. It's insanity. Matter of fact, as you guys see, I had somebody tell me, your build's super cheesy. Well, yeah, it is super cheesy, but it's super fun. So I really enjoy it. It hits really hard, and I kill a lot of people in it. So without further ado, let's go over sets. We're going to go over CP. We're also going to go over skills, stats. You know, you guys know the gist. All right, so here we go. Let's dive in. Okay, so my current setup, I'm running Blood Spawn. Yes, I know it was nerfed. I'm still running full imprint as well. This is what's going to give us our extraordinary attempt at being tanky while in medium armor. Even though Blood Spawn was nerfed, it's still super good. I mean, even on my Mag DK running Scoria, there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I just had Blood Spawn on. And really what it comes down to is it's the alt gen. The alt gen is just, I mean, even if it was 5 alt gen, it would be just that good. So I'm running full Hakeju glyphs across the board. Okay, all these are gonna be Hakejos. On the body, I'm running 5-piece Venomous Jack. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what this is, it's a brand new set. I would suggest if you're gonna get it now, because it's gonna get expensive, especially after I release this video, because a lot of people are gonna start running this setup because it does hit very, very hard. So the 2-piece gives 833 weapon critical, 3-piece is 833 weapon critical, 4-piece is 129 weapon damage, and the 5-piece is whenever you deal critical damage, it inflicts Hunter's Venom on your enemy for 10 seconds, dealing 2,868 poison damage to your target and nearby enemies every 1 second. This effect can occur every 15 seconds. So we have a 5-second cooldown on this, but what makes this so powerful is that your single target dots now become an issue for multiple targets. Okay, so if you have a bunch of guys, you're in the back of a tower and you hit somebody with poison inject and that goes off, everybody in the vicinity is going to be getting hit by it. So it hurts. Trust me, it hurts. It hits really, really hard. Next, on the front bar, we are running Sheer Venom. I'm running 3 rings of Sheer Venom. All of these are going to be infused with weapon damage. If you wanted to go down to a reduced cost, completely understand. I don't have a problem with sustaining with 3 weapon damages. Again, I also run really expensive pots. So if that's not something you can do, by all means, you know, run a reduced cost. As for my weapon, I'm running the Toxic Cleaver. That's going to give us an extra dot with heavy weapons bleed. On top of that, it comes sharpened. It's super easy to farm. You get it off the second boss in ICP, and so it's really, really a simple two-hander to get. The only thing that's going to cause you issues is getting the jewelry. That's relatively difficult. Alright, so let's look at the item sets on here for those of you who don't know what Sheer Venom is. Sheer Venom is, it gives 1058 max stam, gives 124 weapon damage on both the 3 and the 4-piece. And on the 5-piece, when you deal damage with an execute ability, you infect the enemy, dealing 11,928 poison damage over 6 seconds. Now this can occur every 6 seconds. So this essentially has no cooldown. If you wanted to min-max this setup, what you could do is you could instead run this on the front bar. Personally, I'm fine with the way I have it. I didn't really feel like spending the gold to go get a weapon and put it on the front bar. That would min-max the setup. If that's what you wanted to do, is run this on the front bar and have this up at all times. Mainly because this technically does not have a cooldown. So it won't proc but every 6 seconds, but it can proc every 6 seconds. So, I mean, as long as you have poison inject ticking on somebody, this thing, it's going to proc all the time. I don't really have a problem with having it on main bar. I personally prefer to have it on the front bar, and the reason why I do that is because when I use my poison inject, I do a full heavy release the poison inject and then immediately switch over to front bar so I can get the proc along with the poison procs on the back bar, and so I'll proc like 6 poisons on somebody in one hit. So it's quite ridiculous. So on the back bar, we're running double dot poisons. Now, keep in mind, guys, these count as 2 different dots. So this is why we're counting these as 2 separate dots. On the front bar, I'm running the gradual health poison. What this is this is just a 1052 poison damage over 10 seconds, or 10.5 seconds. So these 2 dots can stack with each other, so they are really, really strong to run together. So keep that in mind. So once again, we're going to go over sets just one more time real quick in case any of you guys missed it. Bloodspawn, Venomous Jack, okay, the new Venomous set from the GREYMOOR DLC, or from the chapter, and then also Sheer Venom, and that's going to come from the Icy DLC. And then we are running Master's Bow on the back bar. Master's Bow in this build is crucial because it is just going to make your damage go through the roof. Not only that, but it allows you to keep your... it procs Sheer Venom for free, okay? And then on top of that, you're getting 330 additional weapon damage. I forget what the perfected is if you want it perfected. I would suggest definitely going a Nirnhone on the back bar because anything other than Nirnhone on the bow, your weapon damage is shit, and so your heals are shit. Because you are running on the back bar, so you got to keep that in mind. Alright, so let's go and jump into skills. So on the front bar, we're running Executioner as always, and we are running Venomous Claw, Noxious Breath, Forward Momentum. If you want to run Rally, that's completely fine. I prefer Forward Momentum. Don't get me wrong, there are times where I would love to have a Rally, but personally I feel like I want the snare removal more than I want anything else. Because in medium armor, you're hiding. You are running like a bitch in a lot of situations. Because if you're fighting 8 people, the likelihood of you taking a ton of damage without having any kind of LOS is extremely high. So mobility is super important, and that's why, in my opinion, I feel like Forward Momentum is more important in open world than Rally is. Rally in 1v1s is very, very strong. I also run Camouflage Hunter on the front bar. What this is going to do is going to increase our weapon damage because of the fighter skill passives. Now we're also running Take Flight on the front bar. On the back bar, running Resolve and Vigor, Fragmented Shield, Volatile Armor, Poison Inject, Cauterize, and then Corrosive Armor. Corrosive Armor, I know we're running a dot build, but Corrosive Armor is going to be a defensive ultimate. What that's going to allow you to do is you're going to be able to pop that, sit in the shit, and nuke somebody, and then get the heck out. And that's kind of the whole point of Corrosive Armor, is being able to just nuke someone and get the hell out. Okay, so let's move on to stats here. So looking at stats, I'm going to go and buff up here. We're going to look at damage first. Alright, so we got 17.6 max Magicka, 27.6 max health, 30.2 max stam, and our weapon damage is 44.51 on the front bar. I'm sorry, back bar. 47.86 on the front bar. That is without a resource buff. With a resource buff, you're going to be over 5k on the front bar. Our weapon critical is 44.1. Magic recovery is 514, health recovery is 933, and stam recovery is 888. I don't have a problem with this kind of recovery. I know some of you guys out there who might be new to the Stam DK class, you might have trouble with that recovery. I would suggest challenging yourself and always keeping a low recovery and trying to get good at having low recovery, and it will excel your gameplay at Stam DK. I promise. Alright, so let's buff up. So our resistances are a little low, guys. So you got to keep this in mind when you're playing on this, because you will take a lot of damage. Our physical resistance and our spell resistance are both at 21.7k. So you will take a lot of damage. Our critical resist is at 29.29. The reason why I'm not over 3k is because I chose to go more healing instead of more crit resist, mainly because of the change to Battle Spirit. So let's go down here. I'm running the Warrior Mundus Stone. I have ran the Lover. Both of them are very strong. I prefer the Warrior. I was running the Lover, but I like the Warrior better, even though I'm lacking in a little bit of pin. The Warrior just gives me much better heals, and I've noticed this patch, especially for 1vx in solo play or 2vx play, heals are a problem. Especially when you're fighting Necros and things like that. So any way to boost those is super, super important right now. Run also the Tri-Stack Gold Food, which is Bewitched Sugar Skulls. For those of you who don't know what that is, that gives a massive boost to all stats, and then also gives us increased health recovery. I am an Orc on this guy as well. I would suggest running an Orc on a Stam DK. There are others who run a Nord. Nord is also fine. Not an Argonian, okay? I hear people say it. I play an Argonian Stam. Don't play an Argonian Stam DK. Just don't do it. Anytime I see somebody run an Argonian, that screams to me I can't sustain. So let's look at pin. So we're running 67, 64 physical pin on the front bar. That is with the axe. If you want to run them all, you're more than welcome to. It's just going to be a lot more farming. I have them all. It puts you at AK, and I'm going to be honest with you, the damage difference wasn't that much. I preferred another dot. I prefer the heavy weapons bleed over that extra pin. I feel like that heavy weapons bleed is just super strong, especially when we're pumping really, really high weapon damage. All right, so let's go into CP. We're going to start in the blue tree. We have 43 points into Blessed in the Apprentice for a 10% increase in healing done. 31 points into Master at Arms. 51 points Thaumaturge. 51 points Precise Strikes. 51 points Piercing. And 43 points into Mighty. I'm also running 56 points in the Ironclad in the Steed Tree. 39 points into Medium Armor Focus. And 12 points into Resistant. 56 points into Thick Skinned, 32 points into Hardy, 32 points into Elemental Defender. That's going to be our split for an 8% damage reduction on both of those. I feel like these two, Ironclad and Thick Skinned, are more important to try and stack than these. You're going to get much higher diminishing returns, and these are going to give you really way better diminishing returns up until 19%. So I would always suggest focusing on Thick Skinned and Ironclad. And then also 43 points in a quick recovery to give us a 10% increase in healing received. That is to negate the battle spirit change. So 1 point into Siphoner, 72 points into Warlord for a 23% break free cost, 32 points into Mooncalf for 8% stamina recovery, 32 points into Healthy for 8% health recovery increase, and 56 points of Tenacity for an increase in the fully charged heavy attacks. The main reason why we run it like this is so we can get wind running. I personally feel that wind running is extremely important when you're in medium armor because you're going to be sprinting a lot. Okay, sprint is huge. You're going to want to sprint a lot because you're going to be trying to get out of damage, especially on a squishy build. Keep in mind, this build is very squishy. If you get focused, you will get fucked up. So you have to be on point with your dodge rolls. You got to be on point with making sure you're LOSing when you need to. Don't jump into a big group if you don't have to. You want to utilize LOS and then run out and nuke the person that you know you can nuke. This build is all about nuking people. It can do it, and it does it very, very well. You don't want to sit in the shit in this build because you will get jacked up. Okay, going on to the next. We are running 72 points into Tumbling. That's going to increase our dodge roll reduce our dodge roll cost by 23%, and then 5 points in Shadow Ward for a 2.45% reduction in block cost. So that is the CP. That's the build for this patch. So please, guys, enjoy the Black Widow build, man. I love it. It's so much poison damage. It's so much dot damage. I mean, just with one poison inject, you can literally you can proc six dots on somebody. It's insane. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I really like playing it. I'm probably going to keep this build on the Stam DK for the majority of this patch until I come out with an exploiter setup. Once I get into it for the members only setups. So yeah, like I said, enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And I want to thank all my members out there. I also want to give a big shout out to Pride and also Carno for making this video possible. They did. Carno helped me out and make sure I got all these golded here, and then Pride also made sure I got the Hakejos and the Kudas that I needed to go ahead and get all the pieces triglyphed. So once again, I want to give a big shout out to them, to Hysteria and also Carno's Guild carried by Stam DK. Anyways, but once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys out there on the battlefield. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and once again, thank you to all the members out there who pay to support the channel. Because of you, all this is possible. Thanks. Have a good day.